Okay, we got a 2013 Dodge Dart here, and we're having the motor mount noise on here. And when you start getting this noise, it's almost always going to be this passenger side engine motor mount. And now I've already did a video on replacing this motor mount, and there was one that was much worse than this one. But I'm going to try to see if we can't capture the noise so you can hear what this sounds like here. Now, my other point in making this video is that I've got a lot of feedback from people with the aftermarket motor mounts. Now, I myself have not had any issue with these aftermarket motor mounts at all with Dodge, but what I purposely did is I found one of the cheapest ones that I could find. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and we're going to put that on here, and basically we're going to see how this holds up, and I'm going to have to follow up, in the comments or the description as to how this is doing. But I'm going to keep track of it, and we'll see how this does, because I've not experienced this, so I don't know if it's just some motor mounts or what, but I got the cheapest one I could find. So I'm not going to go through this replacement. Really, I'm going to leave a link to my other video. It's detailed, shows how you would replace this. This is the part, though. Basically this in here gets worn out, and basically all that vibration from the engine is going to start, going through the body of the car, and you're really going to hear it. So this is what this looks like. And I'll leave a link to this part as well. This is the part number. And the only thing that I will say is that I've used a lot of aftermarket motor mounts. Now, you do get a little more vibration with some of these aftermarket versus like the OEM, but it's not been enough that I would even consider it an issue. But maybe I've been lucky, I don't know. But that's my experience with them, that the amount of money that you're saving and the vibration that you might get, because it's not exactly the same as the OEM, is really not significant enough for me to pay the big price. So I usually I have my go-to parts that I usually go with, but we're going to find out how this is going to hold up. If it's going to be, I hear some of these things don't hold up, but a few months and people are replacing them again, so we're going to find out. So let me go ahead and get the car over here. We're going to see if we can kind of capture this noise. So we're going to just set the camera up this way, see if we can kind of capture this noise here. I'm going to kind of like crank the car and put it in gear and reverse, etc. Alright, and we'll get an after noise. Let's go ahead and start getting this took apart. Okay, and you can see how this is completely destroyed here, and I believe these all have like hydraulics in them, but I mean, you can see this is just completely, it's just bottomed out. It's hitting on the aluminum part. This is actually 150,000 miles on this car, but it's been needing replaced, I think, for a little bit. You can see how this is, like, you could just about tear this apart, and by comparison, you can't even really move this at all. It has a little bit of movement. So let's go ahead and get this in the car, and we'll see how it sounds. Okay, here's something else I want to point out. Now look at the gap between this mount and the engine there. Now this is where the engine was setting. I have a jack under here holding it up. That's where it was setting with the old mount. So you see, I'm going to have to raise it up over an inch just to get it up to where it's supposed to be there. So that's another big difference that is leading to a lot of vibration. Okay, so you're going to tell a big difference here. We'll go crank it up, just do the same thing and just listen to this. Okay, so like I said, I had another car that that I did a detailed video on. I'll leave a link to that, but it was much worse than this one. When you would give it gas, it sounded like the engine was trying to come apart. So this mount sounds great. We're going to find out how long it's going to hold up. Said it's just a cheap aftermarket, one of the cheapest ones I could find, and we're just going to see how long it will hold up. Now the only other thing I can say is when you're installing this mount, you know, you want to tighten all your bolts at the same time. You don't want to force anything, tighten one bolt, twist it around. You don't want to get anything in a bind. You want to kind of have your engine supported, put all your bolts in and kind of tighten them all up at the same time and make sure your mount's maybe not in a bind or something, but we'll find out and see how long this is going to hold up. So if you like the content on the channel, hit the like button. I invite you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos. But as always, thank you for watching.